The first disappearance barely made the news. A 23-year-old graduate student named Emily Ross left a coffee shop just before closing. Security cameras showed her walking to her car, a blue sedan parked under a streetlight. She got in. The interior light flashed on briefly, then off. The car pulled away. She was never seen again. Police searched for weeks. No body, no vehicle, nothing. Eventually the story faded from the headlines. Then another person vanished. A man leaving a gym late at night. Security footage showed him getting into his car, driving away, gone. Then a third. A nurse leaving a hospital after an overnight shift. Again, the last sighting was of them getting into their own vehicle. At first, detectives saw no connection. Different ages, different backgrounds, different parts of the city. But one investigator noticed something strange. In the footage surrounding each disappearance, the same blue sedan appeared nearby. Not the victim's car, a different one, sometimes parked across the street, sometimes driving past, sometimes waiting at a traffic light. Always there, always close. Detectives spent months tracking the vehicle. Traffic cameras eventually produced a license plate. The sedan belonged to a man named Victor Hale, 48, widowed, worked as a medical supply courier. No criminal record, no obvious reason to suspect him. But when investigators mapped his movements, they found something disturbing. His car appeared near nearly every disappearance. Not once, not twice, almost every time. A warrant was approved. Police followed him for 3 days. What they observed was unsettling. Victor drove constantly, hours every day, back roads, parking lots, shopping centers, hospitals, gas stations. He never seemed to have a destination. He simply watched. Eventually officers stopped him. The inside of the sedan looked ordinary at first. Fast food wrappers, receipts, maps. Then they searched the trunk. Inside were dozens of stolen license plates. Men's clothing, women's jewelry, personal items belonging to missing persons. Enough evidence to arrest him immediately. But investigators still couldn't answer the biggest question. Where were the victims? Victor refused to cooperate. For months he said nothing. Then a break came from an unexpected source. A tow truck operator. He recognized Victor from years earlier. According to him, Victor frequently visited a remote stretch of state forest several counties away. A place with no homes, no businesses, nothing. Search teams were deployed. The forest covered miles of rough terrain. At first they found nothing. Then one volunteer noticed something unusual. A cluster of trees where bark had been carved away. Not random markings. Numbers. Dozens of them. Each tree bore a different number. The area was searched more thoroughly. What investigators discovered horrified even veteran detectives. The numbers corresponded to missing persons. Each marked tree stood near evidence connected to a victim. Personal belongings, fragments of clothing, objects left behind deliberately, almost like markers. A map that only Victor understood. The search expanded for months. Victims were eventually recovered across miles of forest, scattered so widely that they had escaped detection for years. At trial, Victor rarely spoke. He sat motionless as evidence was presented. Families listened to details they had spent years desperate to learn. When prosecutors finally asked why he left numbered markers behind, Victor gave the only meaningful answer he would ever provide. He said, "I liked knowing where everyone was." Nothing more. He received multiple life sentences. The blue sedan was destroyed. The forest remains open today. People hike there every weekend. Most have no idea what happened among those trees. But rangers say visitors occasionally report finding numbers carved into bark deep in the woods. Fresh numbers, on trees that weren't marked before. The carvings are usually removed quickly, yet somehow, every few months, another one appears. And nobody has ever been caught making them.